After much anticipation, Season 8 is here and drivers are set as we head to the Australian Grand Prix. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be a fun one tonight. We already have a couple that are out. We are in qualifying currently, with just over 16 minutes in the session. David, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. 69 months. Absolutely insane. And David is out here on track, so we'll have to cheer him on also. But quite the field for our starter out here. Evan, I see you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And hopefully we have Jordan. He's joining me out in the booth. Jordan, are you there yet? He is not there yet. He went and maybe got some refreshments, some snacks for the night, because it is going to be a good one. Maddie, I see you out there, but let's take a look. Couple of drivers already on their outlap. Justin is out there, Polish Hammer, Drizzo, Marty, Z, Ferrari Nut, and Hokey Fan. So quite a few drivers. There are some that could not show up, so this is not the entire field. Very interesting. So we're going to have a packed season. I know, lots of luck to these drivers. So the teams, you can see we have a couple of new teams out there. We have Jacob and Justin. They're going to be on McLaren. Dion is going to be on Team Ferrari. Hokey Fan, he is out there. Let's see, who is his teammate? His teammate out there yet, but we'll see. Like I said, a couple are not here yet. Kerr is going to be on his team, therefore Mercedes. Scarface is on Red Bull. Bloomy and Wombat, they are an Aston Martin together. Williams is going to be Polish, and it's Z46 with Marty and Ferrari Nut being on Kick, and Shames and Sober David on Haas. So, gotta love it. Good teams out here. Morgs, I see ya. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's do a check-in with Jordan. Jordan, are you back yet? Nope, not back yet. Currently out with Hokey Fan. You see Jacob out here on his outlap. Now, what we saw in practice was we had some 116s. We're going to have to talk about some interesting spots, and Jacob is actually coming up on one of them currently. Up here on this corner is going to be a quick left and then right-hander. This is turn 9 and 10. This is going to be a tricky spot as we head into Sector 2. He's coming around 11 currently. I would think that this would be tricky, but no. Yeah, I think he's making some popcorn. I think so. This is going to be another tricky spot that you're going to have to do a lot of braking. 13 and 14. Then we're going to come around to this straight and cross the start-finish line. I don't know that a lot of these drivers will be going on those soft tire compounds besides qualifying to get those fast laps. From what I'm hearing from drivers, it's going to chew. This track is absolutely going to chew up soft tires. So I think medium and hard is going to be the way to go tonight. And I think we're going to see a lot of these drivers just do a one-stopper. As long as we don't have a safety car. If we have, a safety car with only 2 laps to go, I guarantee we're going to see these drivers on those soft tires. See Wombat out there, Bloomy. Do not yet have a time, but Ferrari Nut already with a 1:16.430. Polish Hammer, who won here last season. Very, very tight between him and Ferrari Nut. He has a 1:16.4 and Williams' teammate 1:16.5, so extremely close. Scarface, he is new this season. He is out here with a 1:17.9, doing a fantastic job out here in qualifying. Just over 12 minutes left on the board. Hokey Fan, he's got a 1:17.9. So you guys know what I always say. If you see my streams on the F1, take a look. 3 drivers, 1:17.9. Now you know what this means. This means that we are going to see some nice pack racing. Very tight, and we saw a preseason race last week that these guys were 2 and 3 wide. Very fun to watch. We have Marty out here, 118, Wombat with a 119.9, and the rest of the drivers have yet to put down a time. All right, Jordan, let me know. Are you out there, or am I going to send a search party for you? He goes, I'll be right back. And that was like,
have returned.
There he is. There he is.
The worst thing about the iPhone era is that there aren't any earbuds or headphones with the proper cord. So, yeah, but we found one.
Well, there you go. And
I got a little cardio in.
Nice. I know. I thought you got lost. I'm like, he's either getting some nice snacks or some drinks here.
Yeah, I completely forgot about you. It just is what it is.
Yeah, he left the building. He's like, I'm out.
Hey, it just wasn't quite good enough.
I know. Well, Jordan, we have 3 drivers in the 116s, Ferrari Nut, Polish Hammer, and Z46. We also have 3 drivers in the 117 nines. So, like I said, I think we're going to see some drivers in some pack racing, which is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Bloomy and Wombat have a 119. A little bit of separation right there. Marty is the only one in the 18s, but no, it is not over yet for qualifying. Do you need an invite in here?
I am in the lobby right now watching this at the moment. Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah, very interesting. You have 3 drivers at the top within, 800ths of each other. And then we have like nearly a second and a half gap to the next 3 drivers who are within 700ths of each other. And then, or actually, no, yeah, Drizzo is right there as well. So we have 4 drivers within about a tenth of each other. And then we have another second gap to 2 drivers who are relatively close as well. So like you said, some packs already forming here in qualifying.
I love to see it. It's a good sign that we're going to have a lot of good racing. So Ferrari Nut and Polish just extremely close along with those 17 nines. I don't know that I've ever seen times mid-pack that tight together, so that's going to be fun. But like I said, we do have some spots that we are going to have to watch out for, and I want to say that we haven't gone over the first part of it, so let's go on board with Jacob as he is coming around here. We're already past the start-finish line, and we're heading up on our first trouble spot. It's going to be turn 6 and 7, and it's going to be this quick right, and then right here, right, and then a quick left-hander. Some of these drivers will get loose, maybe grab some grass, and once you do that, Jordan, that handling goes out the door, and we might see a few grab a wall.
Yeah, this is one of those places where there's a lot of grass on the outside of the track, and even when there isn't, the curbs can be a little bit tricky to deal with, a little bit slick. There's a lot of fast corners where you feel like you can get out of onto the straightaway really, really aggressively, and you just can't. The car is going to want to try to do-si-do and go around on you under throttle. So a very tough track, probably one of my least favorite to drive on the circuit. But yeah, this has always been, I don't know, I've always found it kind of meh, but it's also, I don't know, it's very fast now with the big changes they made to basically the entirety of Sector 2. It's a lot faster now heading into that chicane at the start of Sector 3. So it's not the worst thing on the planet to drive, but it's still probably one of my lesser favorite tracks. And it's usually always the first one, and it's always when I'm trying to get used to the game, and I never was really good here in any of these races. So hey, these guys are going to put on a good show that I never could.
We just had a couple of movements in time here. Ferrari Nut a 1:16.027, Z46 a 1:16.120, and Williams' teammate Polish Hammer goes a 1:16.2. So the times are definitely improving for these top 3 drivers, which is very, very interesting. I think we're going to see probably 3 to 4 different packs out here tonight, which again, very fun to watch, and I think it's going to lead to an exciting race for our opener. Dr. DK, y'all do F1, let's go. I know, yeah, this is season 8, so definitely a fun one. I'm excited to see it. Like I said, Polish Hammer won here last season. He says, I only won because another driver made a mistake and it got me the win. Hey, you know what? A win is a win. We'll see what happens tonight. I know Ferrari Nut, he's looking to grab a win here along with Z. Jordan, I don't think we've had a win from Z in these seasons yet. So, he might be due for a win.
Hey, I won an IndyCar race back in our Forza leagues because a cat had chewed through someone's controller cord. So you take them however you can get them.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm looking through season 7. I do not see Z as a winner. He's got the short run speed. I think like I said, if he can put an entire race together and just keep that consistency, he will get a win this season. I guarantee. But Marty up here with a 117.212. Scarface improved it 229. And Justin out there with a 923. We also have Hokey Fan. He's got a 943 here. Jacob with 118.581 still in pit lane. Blew Me out on track, a 119.0, and Wombat 119.9. It's always interesting to me that I know Dion has done it where several times he does not qualify, which is a little surprising. So we'll see if he gets that time out there.
Yeah, I think he likes to watch the carnage in turn 1 and pick his way through, and then try to figure out the race from there. He's one of those types. So
that is fair.
We'll see if that is the strategy that he goes with here as we continue onward. Not a lot of time left in qualifying, 5.5 minutes. Of course, these drivers, as long as they cross the line before the timer has expired, then they get to complete that lap. So more like, about 6.5 minutes to finish a lap here as we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of qualifying.
We sure are. And you guys know what I say about turn 1 lap 1. It is always pure chaos. That is when trouble can arise here, and you know that those wings can get damaged and chaos can happen. So I think if we get past that, we'll be all right. But there's a lot of places that you can get the grass and, hit a wall. So they will have to take care of those machines. And I know with last week, an exciting race for sure. These guys, as I said, going 2 and sometimes 3 wide. They were actually very, very clean with that. I don't know how much we can see here of that and expect no damage. So we'll see how that goes for these.
A Hokey Fan coming around to complete a lap, but it looks like he has nullified it as it is red, and he is coming to pit road here. Choach Wombat from our college football league, which no one has ever really watched, I'm sure, but he is come from there. First timer in this league, his debut with us this afternoon, along with Drizzo Marty as well. So a couple of new guys to the league for this evening here at Australia. He continues his way around, entering Sector 3. Looks like he has a decent lap, but he has full charge, so I imagine he is coming in as well, probably. And it looks like he has nullified his lap, so yeah, it looks like he's probably just going to come in here.
Just over 3 minutes left. These guys, if they have anything left out there, they need to bring it in pretty soon to get that out on the track. We have 4 drivers in the 117, so still very, very close. 2 of them in the 0.2 and 2 also in the 0.9s. Top 3 drivers, again, just within 0.2 of each other, so extremely close. Man, I don't know if we're going to be able to see any more improvement out of these drivers for the top 3 at least. But Bloomy, we're going to see him.
I think we might have a 15 out there. We'll have to see.
You think?
But
right.
I don't know. Never count anything out, Frozen.
That's
Anything's
true.
Possible in
That is true.
wonderful world of video game racing.
He is currently in pits, so we'll see if he comes on out. But Dion, he is on his outlap. See what kind of time he puts down. If he can do that in time, we'll see. It's going to be close for sure. Oh no, it's Shames and Sober David for Haas. They are both in their pit stalls here, but Z46 going to try to give it a go. Get another lap time down. Yeah, Maddie, I agree. Australian Grand Prix, these guys, I know they talk about tire wear, and it's really going to chew up these tires. So medium and hard is what is going to be used tonight. I don't expect softs until if we get like a safety car and we only have a couple of laps left. That's the only time I'm thinking that we're going to see that.
Scarface coming around to complete his lap, working through Sector 3 right now, as it looks like Choach Wombat has had an issue out on the racetrack somewhere. But yeah, here comes Scarface 3D. Working his way around. He's about to complete his, what will likely be his final qualifying lap of the session. And we'll see where he places that Red Bull.
Drizzo Marty, he has retired, so I do believe that means that they will get back out here for the start of the race. We're coming to the finish here, so I'm not sure if we're going to see any more improvement, but Ferrari Nut, he is flirting with the 115s. He is right there. He is on an out lap. See what he can do as he's coming around the final couple of corners here into corner 13 and headed up to 14 to come around to the start finish line. Oh, no, he's going right into pits. I would assume that is going to be the finish for him. Yeah, kind of shocking. So he must not have liked any change he made or whatever it may be. I guess he just did not like that. But Z, 1:16.046. I want to say that's a new lap time because I do not remember it being so close, but definite improvement from Z.
Yeah, I think he improved it by about a half a tenth, so solid lap from him, but that only keeps him on the front row. Does not beat Ferrari Nut's time, as there are 20 seconds for these drivers to start a lap.
Caution in Sector 1 still on the track here, and it's going to be, I do believe, for Dion, as he is stuck in the making sandcastles out there as he's making his way back out on track. He has retired from the session, another one. I think we're going to see, a couple of that tonight. People going out there in the sand, and hopefully I want to see everyone finish. I don't want to see a damaged car out there, but we'll see what happens. Maddie, I got to ask you, or anyone in chat, you're rooting for anyone. Who is your driver? Who do you think is going to win tonight? And I will try to not choke on water tonight. I'm gonna try.
Polish with some slight improvement. He went up about a half a tenth, or about maybe a quarter of a tenth. Ran a 1:85, but that will keep him in third. I believe Jacob, the only one still out there making a lap. He ran into some trouble through the high-speed section of Sector 2. Had to get around an Aston Martin that was in the racing line. He's coming around. We'll see what he's able to put down, if he's able to improve on his time.
Here comes past the start-finish line. Last one out there. She says, rooting for Williams and for Fred. I'm going to try not to. Jacob is going to finish qualifying in 9th, so he will be on the grid in 9th. And Ferrari Nut is out there on pole. Z46, P2, Polish Hammer in 3rd, Bloomy in 4th. In 5th, we're going to have Scarface. 6th is Drizzo Marty. 7th is Leaf Justin. 8th is Hokey Fan. Jacob is 9th. And Wombat is going to be in 10th.
Yeah, Dion 4Dub put down a half-hearted 1:23.8. That puts him 11th. And the pair of Hosh drivers, Oh No It's Shames, and our resident Irishman Sober David, they will be 12th and 13th on the grid to start this race. So 13 drivers here tonight. 10 of them will score points. We'll see what happens here, as they are going to try to decide their strategies, which, as you've noted already, it's likely going to be some combination of medium to medium to hard or hard to medium.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they start. We saw tire strategy take a play last week in the preseason. I believe we were at China. So we'll see what they do tonight here. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this battle is going to play out for our top 3 drivers. And then we saw a couple of different packs as far as time goes. So I think we're going to see that out on track and have some nice battles throughout that. But tire wear, I'm kind of curious because we do have some newer drivers, and I talked to Scar last week, and he said, tire was a different thing for me. I wasn't sure what kind of strategy to take, and I know he'll be taking a double look at that tonight. Jordan, if you're out here racing, which would you start on, the hard or medium compound?
Depends on where I qualify. Usually, if I'm toward the back, I want to go with the more conservative option, the medium, I would go with a hard to medium. Just try to take it easy at the front, pick up the pieces if there's any carnage, and then that kind of, if you use a hard here, then that kind of allows you to do a bunch of different strategy options if there's quick safety cars or the like, because usually there will be another set or two of fresh hards in case there's a long run to the end. So I like starting on the hard. If I were toward the front in the first couple of rows, I'd probably want to start on the mediums just so I could play defense and not be under fire from anyone on the better tire, the softer tire at the start of the race.
Yeah, I can absolutely agree with that strategy. So we'll see what they come out with. But man, this loading is taking a while. Hopefully everyone is okay. You guys know how F1, sometimes we lose a few and have to restart it. So hopefully that is not the case. But 29 laps here tonight at the Australian Grand Prix. And Evan says, I am going for Polish. So a couple of fans out there for Polish and for Williams. We'll see how that goes. And here we go. These guys are going to go for their pace lap. We'll get them lined up. We're going to see Ferrari Nut for the Kick team. Isn't this the first time that they've been on the game for Kick?
Yes, I think this is the first time they've been called Kick.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of wild.
But it looks like our front four, contrary to what I was saying, they are all starting on the hards. Then Scarface, Drizzo, Marty, and Leaf Justin, they are on mediums. Hokey Fan is on a hard. Jacob and Wombat are on mediums. And then a hard for Dion 4Dub and Sober David with Shames in between them on a medium. So some split strategies, but our front four opting for the harder tire, looking to finish strong, I guess, on that medium tire, which is also, that's kind of how I prefer to run the race, is to end strong, start with a conservative tire and try to see what it has. But a lot of drivers will start with a more aggressive tire at the start of these races, because obviously that's when you want to be aggressive, when you have that opportunity to make passes and to make up track position on other drivers. So it's just driver preference, or how you feel the race is going to be and how the pack is going to race.
Absolutely. We saw the tire strategy, pit strategy, I should say, is going to be around 13 to 16 laps. And Jordan, I don't know if it's just my eyes, but I thought I saw a couple of raindrops coming down from the sky here.
There is some drizzle out there, Frozen. You're absolutely right. In the final set of turns, it looks like it might already be gone, as I don't see any now on the front stretch, but I saw the exact same thing, a little bit of weather in the area here. We're going to see how these drivers are able to deal with it.
All right, we're waiting for the lights to go out here, and I do see some drizzle, so this could be a thing if it turns in, but I would assume with these guys going on medium and hards that it should clear up, but definite some drizzle currently as we wait for the lights to go out. Everyone looks like they're getting to be lined up, the last few drivers. We're getting ready to go here at the Australian Grand Prix for the opener. The lights are lit and they are officially out for the start here. Let's go. 29 laps. Ferrari Nut with a great start. And we already have drivers just flinging it up the track, trying to take it 3 wide. A fantastic start. You can see Ferrari Nut leading, Z46 in second, Polish Hammer third. They are off to a start.
Yeah, Drizzo Marty taking it 3 wide at the start, able to make up a position on Bloomy Doll. So move him into the 4th position. They are, the front 3 starting a little bit of a train as they are running away from the rest of the pack, but Marty doing everything he can to stay in touch as the rest of the field charges behind.
Top three are trying to leave a gap between them and Drizzo Marty, so we'll see what happens. But Polish passes his Williams teammate. He's going to take over that P2 spot as these guys are going to battle back and forth. But Ferrari Nut, he's going to absolutely hope that these drivers continue to go back and forth. But Polish, I guarantee these drivers are talking and saying, hey, let's just make sure that we stay up here with Ferrari Nut, because he's going to have his teammate who is sitting P4 make his way up through the field.
Well, that first lap, they were about to be able to make that pass on him, as there's been an incident in the third sector. It looks like that was Dion4Dub going off track. He has it back going, and he is continuing on. But it looks like either they're getting a huge boost from the slipstream, or Ferrari Nut has a little bit more downforce in that race car to try to help with the turning, maybe help a little bit with the tire wear, try to keep a little bit of edges. He is really cooking it into the corners again. And you said last week that he likes to, he uses that lockup to his advantage. Again, I don't know how that makes sense, but hey, if he thinks it's so, then I guess it's good for him.
Yeah, he's definitely lighting those brakes up and also those tires. So I can't imagine in the long run that is going to be good for the tires. But obviously, it has worked out for him in the past. We'll see. But Polish already going for the lead, makes a nice move. Ferrari not going to answer. Contact between the two. Ferrari's going to have the nose out, and his teammate is going to go behind him. 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, both of the Williams drivers able to attack Ferrari Nut through Sector 2 into the chicane. Some great racing, but it is Polish Hammer who takes the lead.
Trouble for Ferrari.
Oh.
He gets spun completely almost and just gets carried on by his teammate. So his teammate falls back a little bit too. Ferrari still going on. Polish with the fastest lap there. But Ferrari Nut, I can't imagine that he would be happy after that one.
Wow, that is crazy. So teammates got together there. That is not what you want to see. That makes for a very awkward meeting at the start of the next week. So Drizzo Marty loses a couple of spots and back to 5th. Ferrari Nut all the way back to 7th. So trouble with our pole sitter and one of our big favorites starting off.
I want to say there was contact between Ferrari Nut and either Polish or Z first, and that's what spun him originally. And then he made contact as his teammate was trying to get by and kind of dragged him along the track for a second. But really unfortunate for these two, and especially Ferrari Nut, who did start out there on pole, so we know he's got a fast car, and he's already up to P6 past Jacob X99. We'll see what he can do, but teammates for Williams, they're trying to make a getaway past Bloomy and leave him in the dust. He's already got almost 2-second gap over Bloomy. This is where we need replays, Jordan.
It
I
absolutely
would love
is.
to see it.
It is where we need some serious replays. Leaf Justin 24 has also had an issue somewhere along the way. Not sure where, but he is fallen back behind the rest of the field. So kind of like our practice race last week at China, issues for the McLaren driver from Canada. Meanwhile, Ferrari Nut steals the fastest lap for the moment as he is trying to charge his way back through the field after that incident in the final corner.
Quickly catching up to his teammate, Drizzo Marty. We'll see if he is able to pass him quickly. I don't see any damage on Ferrari. That's the interesting thing. He got dragged backwards down the track for a little bit, so surprised that he doesn't have damage more than he does if he has any. But Polish Hammer gets passed by his teammate, so Z46 is going to be the new leader, and that rain seems to be getting a little heavier there.
Yeah, and one thing we haven't talked about, this is a place where you can accrue penalties relatively easy. A lot of fast tracks with some paved runoff that will bite you, that will penalize you. Even with all the grass, pretty much anywhere you try to step over the line, this racetrack is going to try to nab you for a warning. So we've already seen Itch Z, your leader currently, with a penalty, as well as Drizzo Marty in 6th. So that's going to be something to watch, as we still have a majority of this race to go.
Absolutely. It's definitely not something that you want to see this early on. We're only on lap 5 of 29, and we already have a battle once again. Polish Hammer going for that lead, is able to pass his teammate. These guys just going back and forth. Now, we talked about Z. He has the short run speed. I do believe he has the long run speed. It's just consistency for him. Mistakes get to be made, and we've already seen an early one for him. This is obviously not going to help him out, so I guarantee we will see more mistakes and more penalties out there. But Z, he's going to have to keep it consistent and keep it clean.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to run something of a DRS train here, trying to flip-flop each other through these DRS zones as we have a virtual safety car. It looks like... Oh, no.
Oh, no,
he's still running. Yeah, oh, no, it's Shames. But he is running right now. So, not terminal damage on that Haas. We'll see if he is able to come back from that incident. But I imagine with the virtual safety car coming out, he would have damage, but there's no way for us to really tell except for if it's visual.
Yeah, this is definitely something that Ferrari Nut wants to see. Now, Jordan, is this a place that you're going to want to go in and make a stop, or are you staying out? I mean, it's early in the race, but what about that rain?
With it being a virtual safety car, all these guys, I mean, speeding under the VSC, and again, that's one of our rookie drivers, maybe not understanding how
finicky,
mean that can be. How it's very difficult to work a safety car, work any sort of delta, as it looks like we have gone green now. But that the virtual safety car, you don't really get that chance to come back together. Everyone's still really tight. I don't know if there was much of an advantage to changing tires right there anyway, and with the DRS still available, I think with that little bit of drizzle, I don't think there was any need to go to a more aggressive wet weather tire.
A little bit of sliding for Z as he makes his way through that last corner, heading into 11 and 12. This is another tricky spot, so I'm wondering if these guys are getting a little slippery with this wet track. We'll see, but again, it's not coming down too bad. But handling, it could be an issue here. I know Z is going to try to push it. He does have that 3-second penalty along with Drizzo Marty. Bloomy sitting in a great spot. Oh, Z has left the session. Hopefully he can make his way back in, but Bloomy sitting in a great spot, almost 3 seconds ahead of Ferrari Nut. He's going down pit lane, though. No, that's Ferrari Nut going down pit lane.
Yeah, Ferrari likely going to change his strategy up. Maybe, let's see. Doesn't look like he had any damage there, so yeah, I think just trying to change. Well,
going to intermediates.
All right, there we go. So he is putting the inters on. Just trying to try something different there, since he has fallen back in the field. We're going to see if these other drivers decide to counter that, but he is the first one to go to that wet weather tire.
Yeah, I know these drivers, they get details on what the weather is going to do, so I'm curious if he knows that there's going to be more rain, but Drizzo has left the session. Just so much chaos in this race. This is crazy. Z is back in, though. It has cost him a lot of time. You can see he's over 2.5 seconds from his Williams teammate, Polish Hammer, who is in the lead, which is exactly what he wants to see. But so far, a great night for this team.
Yeah, a lot of wild stuff happening here, and we're not even 10 laps into the race. Some drivers DCing and having to reconnect. We've had the rain. We'll have to see if Ferrari is able to make up time, but it still seems like with the DRS enabled that the virtual stewards, as they say, aren't really looking to put these. Well, now it looks like everyone's coming in, so maybe he was a lap early on that. Maybe that will be the jump he needs to get back into striking distance with the leaders, as Polish Hammer now he's not that far ahead of Ferrari Nut, basically that straightaway coming out of the first chicane.
Yeah, and Again, wondering if this rain is definitely affecting his handling on track. And as you say, he's not that far behind for Ferrari Nut, and he is quickly closing that gap. I guarantee that Polish is probably going to come around and go in this time around. You can see that rain is getting heavier. The next couple of corners, we're going to see him going to pit lane here. But man, Ferrari Nut, he is just on a tear through this track and through the field. Jacob sitting currently in third. I don't think he has gone in yet, so I'm kind of curious. Will we see him on his way in? He's on mediums currently.
Yeah, these drivers doing a nice job, but you can see him falling into the clutches of Ferrari Nut. Polish Hammer has indeed come in. He's going to put the intermediate tire on that race car. So we're going to see how he comes out in relation to the remainder of the field. He should come out around it. Z, I imagine Z will likely be able to leapfrog him here. The question is, will he fall behind Ferrari Nut, as I imagine Jacob is coming to pit road as well.
Yeah, I think Jacob had some trouble around a corner, and Ferrari Nut really had to put on the brakes to not make contact, and Jacob is on his way down pit lane. Polish Hammer is out, but Ferrari Nut 4.5 seconds behind, and Z46 almost 2.5. So these guys are still on the run.
Yeah, Polish Hammer actually able to get in and off of pit road really quickly, doing a nice job. He retains the lead over Z, who had an extra lap on the better tire. But Z, yeah, like you said, 2 seconds back. Ferrari Nut 6.5 seconds back at the leader, but he has been making up time. He's doing everything he can to try to make up ground here. A 10-second penalty for Dion Fordub for speeding in pit road.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's a huge penalty, Jordan. Wow. 10 seconds. That's a bad one right there. Real, what's up? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope everything's good with you. Bloomy, a great night for him so far, sitting P4. Scarface, new this season for F1. He was in our other multi-class season on Forza. Did a great job out there, and currently P5 for his debut on the opener race here. Drizzo Marty, we saw him with a strong start, and he is out there with quite a few drivers directly behind him trying to make some moves. Wow, these guys almost going 2 and 3 wide. It is 2 wide for Jacob and Hokie Fan. 5 drivers in the mix here, but Drizzo, oh my gosh, Jordan, the crossover right here, contact between them, but Jacob makes it by, and now Drizzo is going to have to hold on to it as he is going side by side with Hokie Fan with more contact.
Yeah, saw some visible debris flying off of something. Not sure what that was, but not a good lap for Drizzo Marty, who continues to try to keep pace on the mediums. Leaf Justin 24 likewise has refused to move to that intermediate tire. Not sure if that is to their advantage at this moment, but hey, we'll see. The rain's still not quite that aggressive right now, so I think if they have the grip, but they are still obviously losing time, and you watching Leaf Justin, he is struggling on the exit of these corners.
Yeah, Drizzo is absolutely struggling right now. I can't imagine that they'll want to stay out. They're the only 2 drivers that have not switched their tire compound out. So kind of shocked that they are. Justin has put himself 2 seconds ahead of Drizzo, but Drizzo definitely struggling. And he's got Sober David directly behind him, who is P10th. Currently trying to go side by side. DRS is disabled currently. But man, Sober David trying to find a spot to make it past Drizzo, and he's doing a great job defending. And here he goes on the outside around the corner here. He makes it up to P9.
Yeah, not sure this gamble to stay out on the older tire is gonna to pay off, but Leaf Justin continues on now. He gives up the ghost, comes to pit road. It was a valiant effort, but not able to beat Mother Nature on that one. He was hoping for a safety car, I imagine, an opportunity to put those tires back on, but he's going to fall well behind the drivers that he was running with here, as just a gamble that did not pay off, but honestly did a nice job. He was able to hold on to a 7th spot, but now he's going to have to work his way forward for the remainder of this race.
Yeah, I have a feeling with how Drizzo's handling is going, he's going to be able to make his way up to Drizzo and possibly make a move. But yeah, he's got a lot of time between the two. Polish Hammer still in the lead, almost 3 seconds ahead of his teammate Z46, who does have that penalty. And Wombat, man, DNF for him. He probably wrecked out. I don't know exactly where, but virtual safety car is back out.
Yeah, in Sector 3, at the hard right-hander after the DRS zone, a lot of these other drivers looks like they're going to come to pit road. Believe that is Z putting on a fresh set of intermediates here. Going to use that slower speed to try to steal himself a bit of a pit stop here. Ferrari Nut as well came to pit road. Polish Hammer stays out as now it looks like the safety car is actually out there at the moment. The safety car is out there, even though our screen says virtual safety car. Right now, Polish Hammer is running behind the Aston Martin pace car.
Interesting. We do have a couple more drivers in. Bloomy, Scarface. Jacob, he decided to not go in. This would be the time that, yeah, I was about to say, Drizzo should go in my opinion, and here he comes down pit lane. Sober David also. Hokie Fan is still out, so these guys have not switched those tires. Justin had just made his time in pit lane. He is going to go out and hopefully get that spot, but Polish Hammer, definite actual safety car out here.
And that might be at a deficit. We're going to see it looks like all these drivers are starting to catch him, so they've been released from the Delta. So this is a bit of a disaster for him. Well, it's not too bad. I mean, it's intermediate, so he's going to be on 3-lap older tires, which with the shorter race, there's accelerated tire wear, so it's more like 6 laps on his tires, but not too terrible. But I'm sure he would have liked the opportunity to have pit there. Yeah. But he's going to come in. He is going to come in, and that is going to cost him a little bit of track position. He's going to fall behind at least Ferrari Nut here. I don't believe Bloomy Doll will be able to get around him, but he's going to fall back to the 3rd position.
Very interesting call. I'm surprised he waited so much, but I get, yeah, he's already out. Man.
Well, I believe the safety car maybe came out right as he was going by pit road, and then everyone behind him had that opportunity to come in, and then they released them from the Delta before they had gotten back around. So that's what happened and why he was not able to pit, but that obviously cost him. But hey, he falls back to 3rd, and he's on now technically a lap better tire, as these drivers have had to push their car a little bit to catch up to that safety car.
Z46 is going to lead us back to green once again. Ferrari Nut, he's going to be P2, Polish Hammer in 3rd. I got to say, this is a chaotic start of this season. We have rain. We have drivers that did DNF. We have a couple of penalties already out here. I think some of our new drivers are probably going to be a little shocked with how this race is turning out. I mean, rain on your first debut, that's pretty wild.
We've gone full seasons without seeing a rain race, and here we see one week 1, lap 1. So, yeah, just a bit of a shock to the system, but looks like we've got at least 1 more lap, maybe 2, before they release our drivers from the safety car and we get back going green. I don't know how this is going to go. We saw some excellent battling between the 2 Williams drivers and Ferrari Nut before the chaos kind of began, with Ferrari spinning and losing all that track position, and Z getting that penalty. Would have been, I'm sure he wishes he could have served that penalty in his pit stop, but unfortunately the track limits is not available for serving in pit road. And so he's got to have to find a way to get a 3-second gap on the drivers he's competing with.
Virtual safety car is still out as we come to lap 14 of 29. So hopefully this time around it will go back to green here. But I'm kind of curious if there was contact between Z and Ferrari Nut, or Polish and Ferrari Nut. How much of a break is Ferrari going to catch for these drivers? That was an issue earlier on between these drivers making contact. I know Ferrari is going to be very aggressive to get to the front, to get to that lead, and he's going to try to keep that as much as he can. Polish Hammer is obviously strong here, along with his Williams teammate, Z46. So this is going to be an interesting restart.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, these guys were fighting each other hard earlier. Now that the DRS has been disabled, the track is wet enough for that. They're on a different set of tires. They aren't on normal slicks. So the margin for error is a little bit smaller, and with the fewer laps, there's going to be more aggression and more desperation and more need to get track position and to get the lead. So the stakes are going to be pretty high on this restart, as it's going to be at the halfway point, and the safety car will be in this lap. And this is a place where you can see some shenanigans, and not necessarily from our leader. The game can pull some crazy stuff. We're going to see how it works out here, as it looks like Z starting to try to slow these guys down behind the safety car. It'll be on him to go. Remember, none of these drivers can complete a pass until they cross the start-finish line. It will be up to Z, though, to decide when they begin getting up to speed.
Again, we do have to worry about that turn 1 as we go to restart, and we're in the rain. I mean, it's been raining a little bit here, but it is going to start on Z as we come around these final couple of corners. We have Shames way in the back, has not caught up yet, so unfortunately for him. But here we go around the corner. Z going to have a nice takeoff. And as Jordan said, we cannot have any passes before that start-finish line, but we're getting ready to go into that first corner. We're going to see how they handle that under this rain condition. A couple, it looks like, might have cut the track a little bit. That's going to be Polish Hammer, as he is being very aggressive, trying to make his way back through the field into P1.
Yeah, Ferrari looked like he got maybe a little arrow tight through the first part of that chicane into turn 1, and that cost him to maybe overdrive the corner, slowed him and Polish Hammer both down, but now able to get back in a rhythm here, trying to charge back at it. Z, we have had a caution somewhere. Looks like everyone is fine. Oh, Shames again back. Or no, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm assuming I saw him stop for a minute. Oh, okay. Shames ignoring the blue flag. Man, these penalties are huge. D46 in that lead, almost a half a second. Going to be behind is going to be Ferrari Nut. Polish Hammer right there. Another caution. What is going on out here? Let's see.
Already cleared up, and maybe a driver just getting off track, having to really slow down. Perhaps it was it's Shames trying to get slowed down for these drivers. With the way this game works, lapped cars do get ghosted, so you are offered that, but you can still appear in front of everybody and be a little bit of and be a distraction at the very best. But anyways, Z continues to lead. Polish Hammer continues to try to find his way around Ferrari Nut, who is taking that defensive line in to the hairpin.
Yeah, take a look at this. There's so many battles going on right now, but contact between Polish and Ferrari Nut. These guys are just going at it. Meanwhile, we had a huge battle between P5, 6, and 7th. These guys just going at it, but Justin, he's going to get a 3-second time penalty. Another one on the board with a penalty. They are now single file, but man, what a battle throughout the field. You can see Polish Hammer. He's got some company, and that's going to be Ferrari Nut directly on the heels.
Yeah, Ferrari Nut trying the outside, elbows out, but able to hold on to the position there was Polish Hammer. Excellent racing through the chicane. Once again, Ferrari Nut trying to find a hole to get through, not able to dive down in there as Polish Hammer was giving him no real angle to enter the corner. He's going to have to back out of it. All of this is letting Z pull away, but he has to get away another 1.3 seconds if he wants to win this race with that time penalty, or he has to hope that these drivers push it over the edge too many times and get a penalty of their own.
No, I want to say with how aggressive these two drivers are, was that the contact that we saw earlier on that spun Ferrari nut out? Was it between Polish and Ferrari? I mean, these two drivers are very aggressive with each other. They're not doing anything to harm each other, but man, the aggressiveness is there to try to get to that P2 spot or keep it. But Z is definitely what he wants to see. They're trying to close that gap now, but he needs these drivers to battle out a little bit more, as you can see. Z is getting a little fishtail loose there, coming around that last corner. This rain is not letting off either.
Yeah, it just continues to drizzle harder and harder. Don't think it's going to get to a point where we have to go full wets, but anything could happen as it continues to pour on the on the racetrack. Polish Hammer running all over the place trying to defend. Oh, really cuts the course. So did Ferrari nut. Both of them, all four tires over the rumble strip there, over the curb, but didn't look like either of them got a penalty for any sort of course cutting. Both are starting to reel in Z once more as they fight, and as hard as they've been fighting, they've still put a 4-second gap on the Aston Martin in fourth.
Yeah, these two are something else. I kind of feel like it's a chasing the rabbit situation here, just helping each other out. I mean, so competitive between these two, and I feel like the faster the one goes, the other is just going to try to match that, and that is closing the gap up to Z and increasing it from Bloomy. But we still have more battles going on back here. Jacob, that's not even a battle. Jacob goes into pit lane. We're going to have Drizzo take over another spot, moves to P9. Jacob's on his way back out on track.
Yeah, not really sure what happened there. Maybe he had some damage and had to pit. Not really sure, but what would necessitate a pit stop there. But yeah, some tight battles on the racetrack as we continue to work our way through. We are going to come around to 12 or 11 laps to go next time they cross the line here.
Lumi in a good spot. He's got a lot of spacing. You don't want to see a lot in front of you, but he does have a gap behind him, between him and Scarface. So not too much to worry out back for him. But Scarface, he does have some company still behind him. That is going to be Justin, but he does have a 3-second time penalty. Scarface, all he has to really do is make sure he stays right around Justin. Still a ton of laps left. Anything can happen, but consistency is key here as we have a caution in Sector 3.
Yeah,
they
big
spin!
Caution. Oh, it was Bloomy Doll. He spun out, running in the 4th position. His race falling apart here. Now he's trying to get it straight. Sober David has to dodge him. Leafs Justin has had to come to pit road. I believe his wing is completely gone. Somehow Hokie Fan gets away. It looked like he had to have made contact there, but he was able to get away scot-free with no damage. So Leafs Justin's 24's race, and another penalty for Z. So a lot of chaos in a very short time there.
Scar has a piece of his wing missing. He's going to have to come down pit lane. I guarantee his handling is not what he's hoping for. Hokie Fan right behind him, probably going to try to take advantage of that situation, as he still has an entire lap to go through before he can make his way on in. But Z, 6 seconds in time penalty. Dion, 20 seconds on the board for him as he's in pit lane.
That was just crazy, and you hate to see that. Ferrari nut gives a little right rear tap to Polish Hammer as they head into that right-hander before the left-hand hairpin. Not really a place where you can make a pass. I think he was thinking about it, but opted not to. That's actually going to maybe cost him a little bit of time, but not sure what else he could have really done there except back out of that. But with HZ having the 2 penalties now, that pretty much takes him out of contention to win, unless we have just a catastrophic event involving Polish Hammer and Ferrari nut, which, with the way they've been racing, isn't completely out of the realm of possibility.
These two still on top of each other. Z, man, he's still in the lead. This is exactly what he wants to see, but Scarface, I'm a little concerned for him. He still has that damage from what I see. Jordan, you'll have to verify that and see what you see, but I see the right front part missing on his wing, and he stayed out. I'm pretty shocked on that. Hokie fan directly behind him, so he's probably going to be making that move relatively shortly. Bloomy Doll in 6th and Sober David in 7th. Meanwhile, Ferrari Nut has made a pass, P2.
Yeah, a lot going on right now. As you said, Hokie fan running down Scarface. Scarface did look like he's missing that end plate on the right side of his wing. That definitely seems to be hurting his downforce. And honestly, it doesn't look like he's going to fall all the way back into 8th. But, we've had another issue somewhere. It looks like Dion4Dub has gone off track. And that has caused some issues for Ferrari Nut, who is having to come down to pit road.
All right, explain to us, how does that affect if you're on pit road and there is a caution that comes out? The caution has stopped already, but how does that affect things?
Well, if you're on pit road, then that's going to work out pretty well for you. I imagine you won't have to come in, but you'll have lost all that track position as other drivers are able to come to pit road at a much slower speed, dictated by if in the event of a safety car with just a caution out, then yeah, there's not going to be any sort of benefit or harm. If a safety car comes out, honestly, you'll be at a little bit of a disadvantage because you've been pitting at about half race speed instead of full safety car speed underneath the Delta, which is typically a lot slower than what full speed would be.
Yeah. Very close between Scarface and Ferrari Nut as he kind of pulls over and allows Ferrari Nut to go by. I'm kind of wondering, I know he's newer to F1. Does Scarface know that he's got some damage out there? It definitely looks like it is not handling to what he has hoped, and he's stayed out there several laps with this damage. I gotta imagine it's not feeling great.
Not feeling great, but he's not losing a ton of pace. With the slower speeds, the downforce is going to mean slightly less, because of the rain. I guess it's possible. The issue is he's putting his tires in the grass under braking, which that's kind of scaring me every time. But honestly, if he came to pit road, he'd probably lose. He'd probably fall back to maybe 8th or so, somewhere in there. If he holds on here, maybe at the worst, he would fall back maybe to 6th or 7th. So I think he's doing that quick calculation in his head that he thinks he can hold on to this track position better, just staying out and trying to fight the wing than coming in and repairing it, because that would take a lot of time. Honestly, that'd probably drop him all the way back to 9th.
Fair enough. All right, Z, he's still in the lead, has 6 seconds in penalties. I don't know how he's gonna overcome this, but Polish Hammer about 3 seconds back, so he's really gonna have to put these drivers behind him, as we do have a caution in Sector 3. It is now cleared, but we're coming up on lap 23 of 29. I don't know, Jordan. Do you think we're going to see a win from Z tonight, or is that penalty just going to be too big?
I mean, right now, Polish Hammer just has to run some smooth laps, and he can hang within that delta. He can hang within that gap that he needs to. Z needs to gain 3.4 seconds here, and I just don't think he has the pace relative to Polish Hammer to pull that off. He's obviously been really strong, but now he's going to have to push really hard. Polish Hammer can afford to be somewhat conservative, so I think this is definitely a race that if Z wins it, it's going to be because Polish Hammer threw it away somehow.
I think it's definitely going to be a close one. Jacob is going to pass Bloomy as he makes his way down pit lane. Leaf Justin, teammate of Jacob. These guys 7th and 8th. Scarface has gotten passed by Hokie Fan, who takes over P4. This rain has not let up. I'm a little surprised. I thought it was going to clear up the way. These drivers did stay out for a while, but once they took the intermediates, I kind of figured we were in it for the long haul, but I'm surprised it stayed out this long. Z's making his way. Lap 24 of 29. This race is quickly coming to a close, and what an exciting race, chaotic race it has been. We've seen drivers lose it. We've seen 10-point penalties, 20-point penalties altogether, 20-second penalties. Our leader does have 6 seconds in penalties, Justin with 3, and Drizzo Marty, who was up in the top 5. He has 3-second penalty also. As we had a caution out in Sector 3, it has since cleared. I think some of these drivers just going quickly off the track, but Ferrari not. He was 18 seconds back. He's now 16, but I don't know unless Polish and Z do something crazy. I don't think we're going to see him make up any spots.
Yeah, it's if you want to know how hard they're pushing, Z right now is in hot lap mode, while Polish Hammer currently has been alternating between medium and none as far as the extra power to the race car. So that's the difference. The Polish Hammer does get a little bit loosey-goosey out of that corner, but the traction control kicked in and kept that thing going straight for him. But Z just needs he needs a lot of help here if he's going to be able to make up 3 more seconds on Polish Hammer.
Yeah, that time is quickly increasing here. Ferrari not closing that gap still. I just don't know it's going to be enough. Hokie fan 12 seconds behind. Scarface with a nice solid P5 so far. Sober David with a great race, currently sitting P6. So love this run for him, for Haas. His teammate, oh no, it's Shames out there in 12th. It seems like he struggled a little bit tonight. Hopefully he can make up a couple of spots here. Jacob is going to be in 7th with Justin in 8th, and a 3-second time penalty should not affect him so far, as he is about 7 seconds ahead of Bloomy, who is P9th, Drizzo Marty 10th, Dion 4 Dub in 11th, and Shames in 12th.
I think Justin's going to catch Jacob here. Might not be able to get to Sober David, but he's going to get to Jacob, so that's going to be where that time penalty comes in play. If he's able to get around him and make that pass, it's still going to be 4-0 if he's not able to generate a 3-second gap before the end of this race. So, Justin has had a ton of pace and honestly passed a lot of race cars. He's just had some terrible luck and made a couple of mistakes that have really hurt his finishing position and kind of put him back where he doesn't really deserve to be.
Yeah, he has lost 1 spot from where he started, but as you said, he had trouble earlier on and did pass quite a few cars. Our biggest mover of the night, though, is going to be Sober David, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him to be the driver of the day with that much improvement in his position. What do you see?
Oh, him and Jacob in a tight fight for the 6th position. Jacob able to move around him in the DRS zone. Looked like Sober David was trying to cross him or maybe do something, was expecting Jacob to make a move, and Jacob kind of planted his car in front of him, and I thought they were going to make some contact, maybe break Sober David's nose, but he was able to hold on to it. Now he's going to fall into the clutches of Leaf Justin, who is continuing to try to charge forward and make up from that contact with Bloomydoll earlier when he had that spin.
He is in a McLaren sandwich currently, and I know it's probably not the place he wants to be, but yeah, Justin is looking to try to make a move over Sober David as they come up on this turn number 1 here. Another spot that we're going to head into the trickier turn of, I do believe it's 6 and 7. We'll see what happens. Unable to do anything currently, but Z46, our leader, about 3.5 seconds ahead of his teammate, Polish Hammer. Still would not be enough. I do believe he has 6 seconds. Would not be enough to keep that win.
Oh, Sober David got super loose out of the corner. Justin able to miss him, complete that pass. Now Justin going to try to charge after Jacob X99. Going to try to also put a gap between him and Sober David so that pass actually means something. So not all quite lost. And Jacob, who's been relatively quiet tonight, looking almost to be on the fringe of a top 5 here. He's gotten stronger as this race has gone on. So he's trying to run down Scarface 3D.
Yeah, he's got him in his sights currently as he's making his way around that corner. Man, trying to make his way through this rain. He's got about 2 seconds to catch up to Scarface as we are on lap 27 of 29. This race is quickly coming to a close. We still could see some positions change in these final couple laps in this pack right here, which is exactly what we saw in qualifying. They were extremely close, and we knew the battles would be close also, and it is still going on.
Yeah, a bit of a gap between our front 5, but Jacob has caught Scarface now within just underneath a second. He would be in DRS zone if that was still available, but we're gonna have 2 laps to go next time around. These guys coming around to 3 to go here, but just really, really fun racing.
Comes around this corner. Caution, sector 1. Not sure who is involved in that, but looks like everyone is still moving. No problem, but Jacob's still working on Scarface. You can see him trying to follow his line. I was waiting for this to clear up, Jordan. It is not.
It is absolutely not. A driver who is charging like it is clear, though, is Bloomydoll. He's working his way forward. He is 4 seconds back of Leaf Justin at the moment, trying to close that gap. If he can make up another second and a tenth, he will take that position away from Leaf Justin when they cross the line and when that penalty is assessed. So Bloomydoll trying to rebound from that late spin. Not the finish that he was looking for, as he ran in that 4th position, was pretty much the best of the rest the entire night, but then had one mistake that threw him back. He is trying to rebound from that. He's looking to try to make up that ground on Leafs Justin, and it's looking like he is probably likely going to.
So many different things going on right here. Ferrari Nut has closed down that gap a ton. Still 9 seconds behind, so I don't, nothing can be done with that, but I'm impressed with how much he has closed that gap. Meanwhile, Scarface still under attack. Jacob really pushing it, and Polish Hammer left this session 10 seconds behind. We'll see if he can make his way back in, but his teammate, that has definitely helped him out, as he is now within that range that he can and will win this race as long as he keeps it clean, stays on track, and doesn't incur another penalty.
Yeah, 1 lap to go, and he now has an 11-second lead. And another thing is, with Polish Hammer not in the actual driver's seat, that he's coming to pit road. The AI driver has pulled his car to pit road. It also looks like he doesn't have a... Well, okay, yeah, he does have a wing. Never mind. His AI driver has pulled that car to pit road. That is going to cost him the 2nd position. So a wild sequence of events to finish this race. A bizarre sequence of events. Oh, and ZA almost busts the car on his own. He has the 13-second lead on Ferrari Nut. He can just coast home, and he is pushing it so hard.
What is happening right now? Polish, I know he's got to be an angry hammer right now. I would be absolutely devastated from the AI going into pit lane, but Z, just hold on to it, buddy. You don't have to do anything crazy. Ferrari Nut, he is 13 seconds behind. He just has to hold on to it. This is his final lap, the final few corners, and he will be a first-time winner here in SMB for the F1 series. He just has to hold on to it, as he is absolutely fishtailing it around these corners. Here we go, final 2 right here, making it into the left-hander. He's gonna come into the final right, and we'll bring him down the straightaway as a first-time winner here, and it's going to be at the Australian Grand Prix. A huge congratulations to Z. Ferrari Nut gonna gain back a position and make it home P2. Polish Hammer is going to not be excited about how this finish went down, but he is going to bring it home podium.
And we have a nice battle for 4th. We've actually had a crazy fight. Oh, Jacob and Hokie Fan leaning on each other. Jacob on the inside of Hokie Fan. As they go down to the corner, they lean on each other again. Hokie out into the dirt. That's going to allow Jacob to complete that pass. Now Bloomydoll trying to get around.
Look at these guys. Too wide, Hokey, Bloomy, and he's got company behind him. That's going to be Justin. They spin.
Justin
Hokie
moves up
fan.
into fifth. He's going to be able to hold on to that position if he can get a good enough gap. I believe he's going to.
Scarface going to make up back a position. He's going to be 7th. Just an incredible finish here.
And Polish Hammer DNF'd. What?
Wait, what?
What happened with that?
I thought he crossed the line. It said No, I saw him leave the session. I imagine that he left too early, but he crossed the line. So
Okay.
That'll have to be looked at. But he definitely was finished. He was good to go. I think he just left early, so the game freaked out. But man, I don't think that race could get any wilder.
Yeah, that was an insane sequence of events there to finish off the last 2 or 3 laps. Bizarre. That was it. I've lost Jacob with the driver of the day award there at the end, as he was able to pull off I believe he'll be scored in 4th. The game had him as 3rd, and we'll put him on the podium here, but I believe he crossed the line in 4th. I am beside myself with how that ended.
So many different happenings, but here we go with Z46, a celebration for a first-time winner in the SMB F1 series. I knew it was going to happen, but man, Z, you brought it home first. The season opener for Season 8, so huge congratulations. Take us through your race and how you got that one.
Well, there's a little bit of help from Codemasters. I'll give the employee I hired at Codemasters a little bit of props for that one, but yeah, no, it was pretty solid from the start. I lost the position to Polish off pretty quick at the start. I knew he had a little bit more pace, so I just decided to sit back. The inters came around. I was a little quicker on the inters. Really got helped by that safety car. Really got helped. Took first, and I guess never really gave it back. But it was definitely going to be close at the end. I was pushing the car as hard as it would allow me to at the end of the race to try to open that gap to 6 seconds. I knew it was going to be close, but really unfortunate it had to end the way it did.
Yeah, a wild start, a wild finish. Take us through, I know there was some contact. I don't know that it was between you and Ferrari at the beginning, but what did you see with that as you were making your way on by?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I don't think there was much of contact, but I think I might have squeezed him a tad too hard, and he had to dip a tire into the grass because of that, and that's pretty much a death sentence around here if you touch the grass. So,
Sure.
well, it might have been my fault a little bit, but yeah, I'll have to look at it afterwards.
All right, and one final thought. How was it out there in the rain? Our first race in the season, and we get some drizzle. Did it affect the handling too much? I know everyone took on those intermediates, but how did it feel for you?
I mean, it always affects the handling a little bit. It took a couple of laps for me to truly get up to speed with them, but I mean, even at the end there, I was with those worn inters. I was just feeling that I just trusted the car completely and where I needed it to go, and was really trying to open that gap. But again, EA just robbed us of that finish, which I think would have been a little bit closer than Polish would have liked. But I still think had that not happened, he probably would have had it wrapped up. But you know, that's why I pay people at Codemasters for. So.
Well, you got it done. First win with SMB, and a great way to get you some momentum heading into the season. So huge congratulations to you. It was a fun one to watch.
That it was. Thank you very much.
All right, Jordan, we got our second place finisher. Let's give him an interview.
Yeah, we're here with Ferrari Nut, who had a wild race, most up and down the leaderboard a couple of times. Talk about the incidents, the events you were in, and how you were able to rebound and finish second in this race.
Just weirdness happened and just keep on going. The game obviously didn't allow that to play out as it should have there at the end. This car spun backwards, parked on the racing line. It is what it is. Dion apologized. I told him that is what it is. It's not that important. But just more annoyed that it didn't change the wing when I'm literally missing half of it. It didn't give me the option to force it to yes as well when I came in to do that. It was just blocked out at auto. So that was a little annoying. But I think as that stint went on, I think the tires were more coming to me because Polish was sliding around a bit. Probably could have stayed with Z maybe a little better. I think I had just better tire wear than both of them did on that intermediate. So almost came unglued. I think if I had the wing towards the end after that stop, I probably could have reeled that extra 6.2 in and then some. But just car was just understeery. I was still lapping slower than I was prior to that stop, even with fresh tires, which is crazy in Formula One cars in the wet with lower fuel. So it is what it is. I'll take the second and move on. Congrats to Z on his first win. These aren't easy to get with people like me and Polish hanging around. Obviously Tim's not here and Curves wasn't here tonight, but with with a bunch of knuckleheads like us rolling around, it's hard to win these. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, talk about the conditions out there. They were getting steadily tougher and tougher. You were one of the first ones to go to the intermediate even before DRS was disabled. Talk about your thought process. Was it really that difficult? Was it ever, we've all raced in the rain a number of times on various games. Like what was the car feeling like, and how tricky were the conditions?
I thought the conditions were fine. I have a nickname that floats around, the duck. Anytime it rains, I'm at home. I'm happy with it. Sliding the car around, it's back to dirt track driving. It's just drive it with the right foot and let the steering kind of do what it does and just hold on to it. Had a couple of hairy moments, but just the car was pretty good overall. In those conditions, wasn't too bad. Definitely think others were struggling more with it. As far as the when I decided to pit, I looked at it and I said, okay, this is getting about the crossover point. I did end up pulling about, I think, 5 seconds on Z between the time that he pitted and I pitted. So obviously I made the right choice there. So just that early spin, and then obviously the wing damage kind of made life a little difficult. But hey, it's Australia in the wet, things happen. Just bad timing.
That is Ferrari Nut 94, a part of some crazy battles and some Codemasters weirdness, but he comes home in the second position. Back over to you, Frozen.
In third, we have Polish Hammer, and I'm not sure how happy he's going to be about how this race went down, but Polish, you had a strong start out here. Take us through what happened at the start and through your race.
Do I sound very happy right now?
You sound delighted.
I genuinely think that EA has their heads so far up their sphincters that they can see what they had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, it is genuinely painful how bad this game is with the connection. I don't see, like, it wasn't even me. Z got disconnected. I believe someone else got disconnected. I don't remember who.
There was several.
EA hates the Williams cars.
There were several disconnections that race, so it wasn't just me. I'm not going to sit here and say I should have won the race, because I think Z probably would have pulled that 6-second gap because my tires were pretty much dead. But there is no way I should have lost second, at least to Ferrari, because Ferrari was 8 seconds back. There was no way he was catching me. And just, I have never been so screwed over by EA in my entire freaking life. And it's genuinely annoying. So if EA is listening to this, I know they're not, but if they do ever come across this Twitch channel, fix your goddamn game. That is all I will say.
Okay, so you heard it there from David. He had a great race before that. Frustration from him for, things that happen, disconnects and whatnot. Really unfortunate for him. He came last season, won this race. So I know he was hoping for at least a better finish and more of a battle at the end, as we all were. But man, what an exciting race, a season opener. I think anything that could happen did happen, Jordan.
Yeah, that was a lot to process. I thought that was going to be a lot more of a straightforward race, and just a lot of individual incidents, and then it kind of all started to explode there. Even with the battles in the mid pack, where we had some drivers making contact and sliding around. So that was definitely an interesting race. We saw a lot. We saw drivers having some really fun, really clean battles. We saw some elbows out racing. We saw damaged race cars. We saw AI cars pit other race cars because they just wanted to. It was just that was not what I was expecting, but it's what we got, and it was pretty entertaining from the seat, I'll tell you that.
Season
It's
opener
never
was
too late. It is never too late to go back to F1 2020. I'm sorry, I just had to get that out there.
I mean, he's not wrong, but we move.
move on. We move on, and next week for round 2, it is going to be at Suzuka, so it's going to be another fun one. I think a wild one. We'll see what happens out on track, but man, again, we had a little bit of everything tonight, including rain. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know the drivers appreciate it, as do I and Jordan in the booth, but we'll see you next week, same time, same day, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You guys have a great night.